Let's get the party started. That's right. Okay. So far we're working on gerunds versus infinitives. Yes, first we talked about gerunds as subjects, then we talked about gerunds as objects, and now we are going into the next topic, talking about gerunds, but with nouns and prepositions. Again, all over again, the preposition stuff, the headache about prepositions. So let's see. Here's where we stopped last time. Okay. And here we're getting into going over gerunds plus after nouns plus of. Okay. And this is useful because we never know when we use of, when we use to, when we use with, when we use about. Oh my gosh. So in this case, at least we will know for sure when to use of. Yeah. And and granted, these are the most used for the B2 level. Remember that all the resources that I have that we are going over are B2 level. Yes. And specifically these books, both this one and the other one, are from Cambridge. So they are specifically for the information that will potentially be on the exams. So that's why I like to use these resources that comes from Cambridge, because it basically gets us ready for the with the information that we need to know for the B2 level and for the things that could potentially be on the exam. Yeah. So gerunds after nouns plus of. Gerunds are often used after nouns and of. Nouns, we're talking about places, names, people, things. Okay, those are nouns. For example, I can say the cost of getting an education is rising. I believe in the importance of studying hard. In this case, as you noticed, the cost of getting, importance of studying. In this case, cost is a noun, of is a preposition, and after noun plus of, we have a gerund. Yes? And here we can learn this as another collocation, really, because these are not fixed expressions, but for the most part, we already know that after prepositions, any preposition, we always use a gerund. That rule we already know. But it's really important to know when we use of specifically. Yes, in combination of a noun. So these are useful because we'll know how to use them and when to use them. Yeah. And here we have what some people love, a list of what to remember. Yeah. In here we have the following nouns are often used in noun plus of plus gerund combinations. So, for example, the benefit of, cost of, danger of, advantage or disadvantage of, effect of, fear of, habit of, idea of, important of, importance of, possibility of, problem of, process of, risk of, and way of. And here we have some specific examples about this, and I'm going to make it bigger so we can read them better. Okay. For example, a benefit of going to community college is cost savings. The cost of commuting is rising because of gas prices. There's a danger of borrowing too much money. What are some disadvantages of taking out loans for school? The effects of being late are serious. The fear of being jobless is what keeps me in school. I'm in the habit of not getting up early. Again, if we're going to make it negative, we always use not before the gerund. The idea of not going to school is not an option. It's impossible to underestimate the importance of working hard in school. The possibility of not graduating is worrisome. Worrisome is basically the adjective for being worried. Preocupante, worrisome. Yes. We can also, another one that's kind of similar, bothersome, something that's que algo molesto, algo que molesta, ¿no? Bothersome, worrisome. The problem of increasing college costs affects a lot of students. He explained the process of enrolling in school. She told me about the risks of taking out a loan. I'm thinking of a way of paying for school. Yes? So here we have noun plus of plus a gerund. And again, of course, of is a preposition. So we have to know that after of, we always have to use a gerund. Yeah? Okay. So now we are going to put this into practice because one thing is knowing and reading the list, and another one is actually putting it in practice. Yes? We're going to complete these conversations between Miss Sparks, a community college counselor, and various families. We're going to use gerund form and the words in the parentheses. For example, here we have the cost and then the verb pay. So we're going to use the cost of paying for our son education. So here we're going to complete using the information that are in the parentheses. And of course, you have to use of, and the verb has to be a gerund because it's after of. Yeah? So go ahead and finish conversation one. Andres, I'm not sure if Ingrid can participate, but if you can, Ingrid, you can do conversation two, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's check what you got so far. Okay, here we have, we're concerned about the cost of paying. That was the example. I understand the fear of not being able to afford college. And here we're going to check the answers. Excellent. Of course, I want my son to have the possibility of getting the best education there is, but it's expensive. Okay, here we go. The next one, conversation 2. What are the advantages? That's the only thing. We needed to put it in plural form, because it says are, right? So in that case, it just needs to be in plural. Mm. So the advantages, what are the advantages of going to a community college? The benefits of, wait, the benefits of attending a community
Yes,
college are numerous. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry with my letter.
No, it's your handwriting. No, it's okay. I know it's difficult writing on there. I know for a fact. I can't do it either. That looks beautiful. Sometimes I can't, so I just type. It's better to type. So the benefits of attending a community college are numerous. It's especially helpful for students who aren't sure of their major. Is there a possibility of getting in this semester? Yes, you can register today if you like. Okay, let's continue with, those are correct. Let's continue with the next conversations, and we'll do the same. Conversation, okay, we only have one. So in this conversation 3, we'll have number 4, Andres, and number 1, okay, here, Andres, and this one, Ingrid, please. Okay, the process of applying. The process of applying to college is long. I know it takes time, but you can reduce the rise of leaving something out by being organized. Here's a checklist to use. Okay. The risk of leaving, the process of applying. Okay, good. Now I would like for us to we're going to do this activity that says write 4 sentences on a separate piece of paper. You're not going to do it on a piece of paper. You're going to do it on a Padlet. Yes, I'm going to give you the link in a minute. But what are you going to do? I want you to use this noun plus of prepositions in the box. And I would like for you to share some sentences on the Padlet. In your case, of course, you already have studied, but maybe you want to pursue a higher education. Maybe you want to pursue a doctorate degree. Maybe you want to pursue a master's degree. Okay, so I would like for you to say, okay, the benefit of studying a master's degree is that you can practice your whatever. You can write whatever. And the same thing with effect of. The effect of studying, na, na, na. The habit of, na, na, na. Okay, you can choose at least 4 of these, and I would like for you to use them. Make them yours, okay? Try to use these combinations, and of course you will have to add a verb in the gerund form. Yeah? So let us take a print screen of this right here. I'm going to share with you via WhatsApp, and I'm going to give you the link for, I want to give you the link for a Padlet where you are going to be writing the sentences, okay? So here we go. And let me erase the other publications that we have done before. 0545. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So here's the link where you're going to be writing. And I am also going to send you the screen capture. I'm going to send you via WhatsApp. Okay. I'm going to just put it in the group, yeah? So that you can easily just look at the question and answer it on the Padlet, yeah? You can use the combinations of noun plus of, yes? Try to make some complete sentences and as complex as possible, yes? B2 level kind of sentences, all right? Okay, here we go. Okay, so there you have it, the over to you activity. And we're going to do it on the Padlet, okay? So go to the link I shared with you here in the chat, and then you can look at the questions and the combinations of nouns plus of plus gerund. Yeah. Go ahead and take a few minutes. I will need for you to write at least 4 sentences. Yeah. And go ahead. Okay. Who is this from? Andres or Ingrid? Andres. Okay. The benefit of studying a master's degree is the opportunity of being good. Huh? You're putting those two together, right? Opportunity of being in contact with specialists. Oh no, this is Ingrid. This is Ingrid. Yeah. Yeah, okay. But this is the one. The benefit of studying a postgraduate degree is that during your career, you will keep up to date. You'll keep up to date about the new methodologies and state of art technology. Okay, you can use this keep up. You can use it up to date, or you can keep up. I think you're trying to say that keep up to date, ¿no? ¿Verdad? Como que mantenerse a la vanguardia. Cierto, yeah. So then in this case, you can,
Actualizado.
ajá. Entonces aquí lo que tendríamos que poner sería keep up to date. Ajá. Como mantenerse actualizado, correcto. Keep up to date. Así. Yes, keep up to date about the new technologies and state of art technology. Yeah, sure. Perfect. The benefit of studying a master's degree is the opportunity of being in contact with specialists. Great. Okay. Let's keep on using. Okay, now use another one. Exactly, a different one. Great. The habit of studying after you get a master's degree helps to keep up to date. Okay. Also, it's the habit of studying something new that you don't know about. It's great for your brain. It's a way to train your brain to never get old. Yeah, remember that it's a muscle too, right? So you have to exercise it. Exercise your brain. Uh-huh. Okay, I've been thinking about the idea of starting a PhD program. Oh my gosh. Ay, Dios mío. That idea scares me, right? Like for me, it scares me. Oh my gosh. All I think about is all the writing I'm going to have to do, all the research. You know, I want to cry already. Eh,
You know what the people say. No pain, no gain.
that's right. It's so true. And it's so true. Um, yes, definitely. All I think about is PhD. I know. Research project. I don't know if I want to spend 2 years of my life doing research, and I don't know. Even though for my master's degree, I had to, well, I did my master's degree at SPOL, and of course, we are all SPOL here. So we know how demanding SPOL's programs are, right? Uh, for the master's degree that I did, um, it was teaching English as a foreign language, and it was very, very research based. Like the whole master's, like every class that we had to write like mini thesis, like a mini thesis as a final project for the class. It was a lot of writing, a lot of research, a lot of, you know, that we were totally ready to write a marvelous thesis by the end of the proyecto de titulación, you know. We were totally ready for that. We definitely got all the information that we needed for doing that. But it was tough. It was a very demanding course, like a very demanding 2 years of my life. So I am thinking now I am older, more things to do. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember like I would stay up all night. I would stay up late working, waking up early, things like that. I'm like, if I can do that again, I'm scared. That's basically what it is. I'm so scared because I know how I am and I usually try to work hard at the things I do. And I know it's going to be again, all over again, staying up late, going to sleep, waking up early, stuff like that. I'm scared. But I have had this idea too. It's a scary one. But like you said, no pain, no gain. It's so true. Yeah. And y a veces uno como que es masoquista, ya sabe lo que va y igual, you want it. So yes. A PhD program. And in your areas, I know that you guys are engineers and all this kind of a total different kind of idea from what my area of expertise is, right? But can you find PhD programs here in Apple?
No, I'm searching about
Mm,
PhD program related to my
to your field.
professional area. There is a
Mm,
petrophysics, but it's
mm.
too difficult. I think I have to study abroad, maybe. I don't know.
Aha. I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, like again, this is not my field, but I know in Houston, right, in Texas, there's a lot of things about petroleum, and there might be some opportunities there,
That's right. You're right.
right? Mm-hmm. I lived in Texas for 10 years of my life, not in Houston, but in different cities. I lived in Dallas, Texas for about 3 years. And then I lived in Austin the other 7 years. So, but all in Texas. And so I know that Texas is big in that area. Um, but I know specifically in Houston, there's a lot of people working in that field about petroleum engineering. So, all right, guys. So let's continue writing other ideas. We're using the nouns and the gerunds. And let me know if you have any questions. Okay, let's see. So we were supposed to use a few. Let me see if you have any others. We were supposed to use benefit of, effect of, habit of, idea of, possibility of, risk of, in the way of. Okay. And let me see if I have any others. Let me refresh. I don't think I have any others. Okay. Okay. Let's continue now. Okay. Now, let's see here. Now, we are finished practically with the topic of gerunds as a whole. Yeah? And now we're going to move on to infinitives. But before we move on to infinitives, I would like for us to know what are some of the common mistakes we make when using gerunds, okay? So in order to not make mistakes using gerunds, I would like for you to remember these three tips. Remember to use a gerund after a preposition. Rule number one, yeah? For example, students often worry about getting into college. As a general rule, when you see a verb as a subject, use a gerund. Yes? Always. Always use a singular verb with a gerund subject. So if you say interviewing at several colleges is time consuming, that means that, of course, the activity, whatever it is that you were talking about, is always going to be singular. Yeah. And it's very useful that I am seeing this word time consuming. Okay, this word time consuming and many other complex words that are using this hyphen in the middle, okay, those are very much B2 level and higher, really. Okay, so if we want to get a brownie points, I would say with Mr. Cambridge, you can always use these kind of words, time consuming, organization oriented. Yeah, using these hyphenated words. And we're going to look into some hyphenated words because I think that using these kind of words and vocabulary is going to give you great points, especially in the writing piece. So wherever we need to learn to give better marks, we need to use them more. So now that we're looking at this kind of word with a hyphen, I'm mentioning it so that you know and keep it in your mind when we are practicing writing for the exam to use this kind of words, hyphenated words, yeah? Okay, so now that we're keeping this in mind for the gerunds, I would like for you to look at this paragraph. And I want you to find and correct 7 more mistakes. There are 7 more mistakes here for you to check. So what is it that you want to do? You're going to read this text and try to figure out where all the other 7 mistakes are. Yeah? And of course, like we always do, you can always correct here, make your marks here on my presentation, and then we're going to check the answers, yeah? Remember, 7 more mistakes. Go ahead, try to find them here. Yeah, remember about the use of the gerunds. Se están peleando los mistakes.
It's missing one, just one.
Missing one.
Mhm. There are seven, no? Seven mistakes.
Yes, seven more mistakes. Yes.
We have six.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, you
I
have
know.
7.
Oh, we're
1, 2,
right.
3,
We're
4,
right.
5,
We're
6,
right. Yeah.
7.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. All students start the semester with the intention of studying hard. However, finding time to study, and that's something you check, right? Finding good. However, finding time to study can be challenging. Finding good places to study is very good. One challenge. Another is finding enough hours in the day and creating a schedule. Successful students face these problems realistically. Different people have different purposes and needs when it comes to doing college work. Studying in a quiet library works well for some people. At the same time, a coffee shop or cafeteria can also be a good place to work for those who get energy from being in a stimulating environment. Good. Then there is the question of time. Most students are working, paying bills, and taking classes at the same time. So they do not have the luxury of spending many hours with their books. However, research offers hope. Studying for a few minutes several times a day is a good way to learn new material. So here we have day is good and learning, great. And of course here spending, good. You got them all. Learning that what works for you is the key to academic success. Perfect, perfect stuff. All right, well, great, great job. So let me clear this up. All right, so we are practically done with the area of gerunds. So I would like us to play a Kahoot.
Grace, I'm sorry, I have a little question.
Yes, of course. About the
Yes,
activity.
about the
Let
testing.
me present again then. Okay,
And is
let me make it bigger.
the first line in the second paragraph?
Yeah.
I had a doubt about the verb the gerund doing. I mean, different people have different purpose and needs when it comes to doing. Why doing? Why not to do?
Okay, different people have different purposes and needs when it comes to doing college work. Yeah, right there. Doing college work. So you were asking why we have to use the gerund.
Why is if I'm going to use the word to, It's I mean, I think that I have to use
That we
the
need to use
or the
infinitive.
infinitive. Yeah.
Okay, great. Uh,
It's a phrasal
yes,
verb?
but no. The point here is that we are using that, we're using gerund because we're using it as an object here. We are not using it as the form of the verb. So the phrase doing college work, all of it is an object. Is one activity, is one noun. Yes? So for this reason, we are not using it comes to one object. I know it's being used with a gerund because doing college work is an activity. When it comes to soccer, when it comes to piano, when it comes to na. And comes to, when it comes to, it's a fixed expression. De cuando se refiere a, that when it comes to. Entonces, por esa razón, ajá.
It's
Because
like a
el do,
phrasal verb, or not?
it's not a phrasal verb. I would say it's a fixed expression when it comes to, y después de to, porque to a la final también es una preposition, ¿sí? Si vemos la fixed expression when it comes to dancing, I prefer to dance to salsa. When it comes to dancing, me refiero cuando se trata de bailar, estamos hablando de la actividad, pero es como un objeto, ¿verdad? So, because here el doing no es, y uno lo dice, claro, es que está el to, y uno automáticamente dice, ya, tiene que ser el infinitives. Y creo que lo vas a encontrar de pronto, ahora que vamos a ver los infinitives, que hay ciertos verbos con los que sí tienes que poner sí o sí infinitives. Y resulta que comes no es uno de ellos. Esa es otra razón también. ¿Ya? Pero
Okay.
sobre todas las cosas, date cuenta que es una fixed expression when it comes to. Es un language chunk. ¿Ya? Entonces después ya sabemos que when it comes to, si vamos a utilizar un verb, una actividad, tiene que ser gerund. ¿Ya? Basically. No podríamos decir en este caso, to do. Y ya vamos a ver, acuérdate que hay una lista, ¿no? De aquellos verbs con los que sí o sí tienes que utilizar gerunds, con los que sí o sí hay que utilizar infinitives. Y en este caso, pues, tenemos la preposition y en este caso también tenemos la fixed expression. Entonces, eso por ahora. Pero sí, en este caso también el doing college work, recuerda que está siendo utilizado como object y no como un verbo en sí. Entonces, cumple otra función en la estructura. Great question, because I know that can be really confusing. Precisamente por eso es que tenemos que ver ahora la parte de los infinitives. Ahora, ¿qué? Ya sabemos cuándo utilizamos los gerunds. So now, when do we use infinitives? ¿No? And there's going to be verbs, Andrés. There are some verbs that we can use infinitives, and we can also use gerunds, and it doesn't change the meaning. And there are some that we can use them with a gerund, has one meaning. We use them with infinitive, has a different meaning.
Yes.
Headache again. Yeah? But at least we're getting to find out which ones those are the special verbs. So, I know. Headache coming up. Headache coming up. Bueno, at least here following, at least we'll know which ones those are. Pero yeah, did I clear your doubt?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So here now we're going to go on to infinitives, like I was saying. And it was really cool having in the previous unit, the fact that we did the reading and then all the exercises that are surrounded the same topic. I think it's very nice following that same trend. So following that same trend, we're going to do the reading first for this unit, and that way all the activities that we're going to be doing later are going to be related to that. And before we go to infinitives, let's do the Kahoot activity, yeah? Before we even do the reading for infinitives. Here we go. Let me see. Kahoot. For infinitives. Here we go. Okay, my internet is not cooperating. Here we go. Okay, this is unit 12. Host live. And let me share with you. Okay, remember that if for Kahoot, it's better that you scan it with a different device so that you can see the question in my presentation and then put the answers in your device. Yeah. Here, because in your device, you're only going to get the colors and you just mark the color, but you won't see the questions. So it's better for you to see the questions here and then just mark the answers on your device. Oh, let me copy the link. Maybe that's easier for you, or you can also scan the code, whichever is easier. Let's get started. Let's identify the mistake here. Okay. Everybody got it right. Excellent. You are on fire, Andres.
Both. Ingrid and me.
Está interesante esta pelea. Está interesante esta competencia.
Ingrid and me and two top three.
That's right. Okay. So it was pretty good, right? Seeing how we can use the gerunds as objects and the gerunds as subjects after prepositions, using the singular verb for when we have the gerund in the beginning of the sentence, etc. Great job. Now, let's go to infinitives. But first, we read the story. Yeah, that's related to the infinitives exercises. So here we go. And here it is. Advertising guerrilla style. Okay? Advertising. Advertising is pretty much marketing. Yes. How we decide to market something. How we decide to sell something. Okay? And here we go. Have you heard this before? Guerrilla style? No?
No, but
No.
We'll be learning something different, I guess. Something
could
that's not.
you please put it the bigger,
Yeah.
please?
I'm going to make it bigger. Yes, of course. Words that we need to know about this. Publicity. Publicity is the attention received as a result of an activity meant to attract interest. Advertisement or advertising. The short word would be an ad. Una propaganda. Yeah, an ad. So, we are going to read here this passage about guerrilla style. Would you tattoo a website address on your body? Like google.com, for example. One woman from Utah did just that. A company got her to tattoo its website address on her forehead for $10,000. Yeah, I know. She wanted to do it to raise money for her son's education. The company wanted her to do it for cheap advertising space. They also got free publicity Because the story was on the news. This kind of extreme advertising, known as guerrilla marketing, uses surprising ways to advertise a product and get people's attention. A way to advertise with guerrilla marketing is to use the environment in an unexpected way. For example, a few years ago, a popular candy company painted park benches so that they looked like giant chocolate bars. This creative ad strategy got consumers' attention in a positive way. Transportation across the city for a whole year, anyone in a positive
No.
way. Wait, I think we're missing something down here. Wait.
Yeah.
For guerrilla marketing to be successful, people must talk about the ads. A well-known sticker company formed a partnership with a Berlin's public transportation system. Every pair of sneakers was also a free pass to public transportation across the city for a whole year. Not all guerrilla marketing works. A few years ago, an ad company decided to place signs with flashing lights around different cities to advertise a television show. However, in Boston, the police thought the signs were bombs. The police tried to find and destroy all of the signs. Unlike those who use traditional advertising strategies, guerrilla marketers are not afraid to shock people. The idea The idea is to convince people to talk about the products. However, it is important for companies to consider how people will react. Not all publicity is always good publicity. Okay, can you imagine that tattooing a website on your forehead? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
It is insane.
That's insane. Yes, definitely. I wouldn't do it. I will not do it. No, no. A few comprehension questions. What is guerrilla marketing? Now that we finish reading, what is guerrilla marketing? And what is its purpose? We can go back to the reading. What is guerrilla marketing and what is the purpose of it?
I think that is it happens when companies make some strategy to have the attention of the people, but not in a conventional way, uh, but maybe alternative way that is cheaper and they don't have to pay a lot of money for, I mean, a great advertisement or publicity in TV or a great show. Maybe it could be just talk about I don't know what is it, how do you say the boca en boca? It's not a gossip, but it's
Okay,
a
word of mouth. Word of mouth.
word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Yes.
Maybe a word of mouth, it could be effective for their objectives.
Like this, word of mouth is when somebody is for example, I use a detergent, for example. I use a detergent and I talk to you, Andres, you know what? I use this detergent, you have no idea. It is wonderful, it does this, da, 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 da. And I give you all the good stuff about this, and I highly recommend this for you. So you're like, oh, what Grace is talking about is detergent, and I say, okay, it's the best. I'm going to try it to see if what she's saying is true. So that's word of mouth. When you are recommending the product that you're using to other people, and usually is family or people that are close to you normally, because that's the way it works, right? You normally talk to people that are close to you. Yeah. So yeah, so definitely guerrilla marketing, guerrilla style is talking about things that calling people's attention. Yeah. By doing here. Let's see here. So what is guerrilla marketing? Guerrilla marketing is marketing that we use, that people use to call people's attention in an unconventional way, right? What is the purpose of guerrilla marketing?
Well, it could be the word of mouth among
It
people.
gets people attention by using the environment in unexpected ways. Yes, basically that's what it is. Okay, here are the answers. Now, what about, oh, I already, okay. So how does guerrilla marketing get people's attention? They get the attention by using the environment in unexpected ways. And the last question, how is it different from traditional advertising? How is guerrilla advertising different from a guerrilla? Guerrilla from traditional, yes.
Maybe it's cheaper for the companies, and I don't know, maybe it could be interesting for young people, maybe.
Okay.
It's not a conventional way, so it could be because of it's new, because of it's something new, and it's not it's a little orthodox, maybe. What is it? I don't know.
Okay.
Orthodox.
Okay, so definitely, okay, Ingrid said it's surprising. Yes, it's different because traditional advertising, it's safe, right? It's just playing it safe. But in the case of guerrilla marketing, they're not afraid of shocking people.
Mhm.
They're surprising, like Ingrid said. They're surprising because they are not afraid of shocking people. Now, let's look in here. Let's see. Find the sentences in the article and complete them. She wanted to raise money for her son's education. What are we going to use after wanted?
She wanted to do it.
She wanted to do it to raise money for her son's education. Exactly. She wanted to do it. And the police tried
To stop, maybe.
to find and destroy all the signs. A way to advertise with guerrilla marketing is
I don't know. I need to check the
to look at the text.
to use environment.
Okay, and Ingrid said transforming. Let's see. To use. The police tried to use and destroy all the signs. A way to advertise with guerrilla marketing is to use the environment in an unexpected way. Yes. And what do all verbs you wrote have in common? Is that they have
Infinitive.
infinitive. Yep, they are infinitives. And the words that appear before infinitives are all verbs. You see, we have wanted, tried, is. So now let's get actually started with infinitives. Okay, infinitive with verbs. And here we need to pay attention to those because this is going to tell us like when we have to use these infinitives. An infinitive is anything that is a verb that we use to and then the base form of a verb. Some main verbs in a sentence are followed by an infinitive and not a gerund. For example, I decided to learn about advertising. The company planned not to use traditional advertising. And again, we use not before the infinitive. Remember, we use not before the gerund? Well, the same way, not and the infinitive. Yeah? Which verbs needs to use infinitives only? These are the verbs that we only use infinitives with. Use an infinitive after the following verbs. In regards to time, hesitate and wait. For example, we hesitated to use guerrilla marketing. Likes or dislikes, for example, I can say care. I don't care to see boring ads on TV. Plans and desires, decide, hope, need, or plan. For example, the company is hoping to buy advertising space. Then we got efforts. We have attempt, help, learn, manage. For example, guerrilla marketers attempt to get your attention. Communication, agree, offer, promise. Our company promised not to waste money. Possibility, appear, seem, tend. For example, guerrilla ads tend to shock consumers. And of course, remember to use not before the infinitive to show the infinitive is name. Yeah? So these verbs are the ones that we use normally in combination with infinitives. Yes? And again, there is an appendix in the appendix 7 where you have the list of these specific verbs and you can take a look at them. Verbs plus objects plus infinitives. Okay, and here's where it gets tricky. I don't want to go into this yet because I think this whole topic can be a complete class. So I am only going to stick to the first part, like only the verbs that we are usually going to use with infinitives only. Yes. So this is something we need to remember. Now, I want you to watch a video so that you can kind of tell the difference between when to use the infinitives and when to use the gerunds. And let me remove my pen. I want us to go here. Here we go.
ESL Library. Gerunds and infinitives. What are gerunds and infinitives? Gerunds and infinitives are words with a verb meaning. They function as nouns in a sentence. Gerunds are formed by adding ing to the base form of the verb. For example, reading, singing, and walking are gerunds. Infinitive verbs are formed with the word to and the base form of the verb. For example, to eat, to sleep, and to study are infinitive verbs. The basic sentence pattern in English is subject, verb, object. Subjects and objects are usually nouns, but gerunds and infinitives can also function as the subject or object of a sentence. For example, in the sentence, Snowboarding is her favorite sport. The gerund snowboarding is the subject of the sentence. In the sentence, he likes reading, the gerund reading is the object of the sentence. In the sentence, they need to study, the infinitive to study is the object of the sentence. How do we know when to use gerunds and infinitives in English? There are 3 basic rules for gerunds in English. There are also 3 basic rules for infinitives in English. Some verbs are always followed by a gerund. Common verbs followed by a gerund are consider, discuss, enjoy, finish, keep, practice, quit, recommend, and suggest. For example, they discussed having a party this weekend. He keeps forgetting to text me. Other verbs are always followed by an infinitive. Common verbs followed by an infinitive are agree, decide, hope, learn, need, offer, plan, promise, and want. For example, she decided to apply for a new job. They offered to help her move. There are a few verbs that can be followed by either a gerund or an infinitive with no difference in meaning. Common verbs followed by a gerund or infinitive are begin, continue, hate, like, love, prefer, and start. For example, I like listening to music, or I like to listen to music. Let's continue talking about this, or let's continue to talk about this. The subject of a sentence is usually a gerund. For example, gardening is my favorite hobby. Meeting new people isn't always easy. After an adjective, we usually use an infinitive verb. For example, I was sad to see my test score. Is it difficult to make a cake? After a preposition, we usually use a gerund. For example, I thought about taking piano lessons. Did you plan on calling me back? After a noun or pronoun, we almost always use an infinitive verb. For example, the librarian told the students to be quiet. We asked them to go to the beach with us. Look at the sentence and the verb provided. Say or write the sentence using a gerund or an infinitive verb. For example, call me when you finish cleaning. Now you try.
What would you put here?
The teacher told
Oh, well,
the
I already
students to
gave
study
it.
every night.
Study.
Yes. Okay, what about this one?
He promised taking his sister to the beach.
Promise
I forget to
taking.
take.
Okay.
I have to
He
take.
promised to take his sister to the beach.
We need to like remember those specific verbs that we have to use infinitives. Uh-huh.
Singing
Sing.
always cheers me up.
Moving.
Moving. We already saw this one. After consider, always use gerund.
They considered moving to a new city.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Consider is one of the ones that we already practiced. What do you say? To get.
To get.
It is important to get enough sleep every night.
Yes.
Starting.
Aha, we have about. It's a preposition, so.
Starting sería.
We talked about starting our own business.
Good.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, I like that video because honestly, it's like it gives us everything that we need to know to differentiate gerunds versus infinitives. Y como ya les he enseñado en otros momentos, los videos de esa plataforma de ESL Library me encantan because they're so useful. Te dan la información que quieres. Así que I'm going to share the video with the group so that maybe you can watch it again if you need to. But it's really useful stuff, yeah. I don't want to, ya no quiero ahondar más en ese temita. Me voy a ir dejándoles ahí la introduction to infinitives. Ya sabemos que hay ciertos verbs, right? Certain verbs that we always use them with gerunds, always, and then other group of verbs that we always use them with infinitives. And we also have some verbs that can be used with infinitives, can be used with gerunds, and they are dynamic. And those are the ones that give us headaches. But here in the YouTube video, you can see this again. We can remember those specific verbs because we're gonna have to in order to use either infinitive or gerund. We will continue working with this next week. I'm going to send you something related to gerunds versus infinitives, like along the lines like what we did right now, so that you can differentiate between them two. And we will continue talking about this next week. Okay. Any questions? Yes? No? Maybe so? No? All right, guys. Well, that will be it for today. I'll let you go earlier, a few minutes earlier. And be on the lookout for the activities that I'm going to be posting for tomorrow's. It's just going to be something related to this topic. Yeah. Have a wonderful night. Get some rest this weekend. And I'll see you nice and rested on Tuesday next week.
Right.
Bye-bye. Have
Thank
a good
you.
one.
Bye, Grace.
Bye.
Bye,
Ingrid.
good night.
Have a good night.
Bye,
Bye,
Ingrid.
Andres.